Dear students, welcome to our inspirational course and a very small story. The first quote: your education today is a rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead tomorrow. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you are small as compared to what lies within you. Take pride in how far you have come so far. Have faith in how far you can go from today. Believe you will move mountains. The only impossible journey in the life is the one you never begin. A small story. A philosophy professor once stood up before his class with a large empty jar. He filled the jar to the top with a rock and asked his students if the jar was full. All his students replied the jar was full with rocks. He then added small pebbles into the jar and gave the jar a bit of shake so that the pebbles could disperse and settle themselves among the relatively larger rocks. Then he asked again, is the jar full now? The students replied again affirmatively yes. The professor then poured sand into the jar to fill up all the remaining empty space, then asked the same question and the answer was also same from his beloved students. Now, the professor explained, in this story, I would like to tell you, beloved students, that the jar represents your life and the small rocks which I put, then small relatively smaller pebbles than rocks, and finally sand are the things that fill up your life. The rocks represent the most important projects and things you have going on right now with you, like your studies, like your job, like your spending time with your parents and family. Above all is your health. The pebbles represent the things like a car, a house, some large amount of money, etc., which are not too critical for you to make a living, as these things often come and go. These are not so permanent that without them you cannot live, like are essential to your overall well-being. Is the essentiality is less for these pebbles like. Now finally, the sand represents always wasting of your time, which you cannot concentrate on better things like browsing through your of course some internet for small gains and of course watching TV, which are useful only to get the small tasks accomplished. I am not saying that these are not essential, the professor said, and the moral he said was if you start putting sand into the jar, you will not have room for rocks and pebbles. In order to have a more effective and efficient life, pay the best attention to the rocks, then the pebbles, and the least for the sand, because rocks are critical to your long-term well-being. Finally, the pebbles and sand are not so essential. However, they are required, but your life would still be full, your life would still be meaning and have a positive impact with the rocks. Thanking you very much.